Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Mehmet Sheikh, and from past few videos I'm working on a tutorial series of developing a CRUD application using Yii2 framework. Okay, in this video we will discuss how to create a database and then table, and then how to link that database to our Yii application, and at the same time we will put some records manually inside the table, and then try to fetch those records and display those records on our home page here on the table of our home page. Okay, so we'll be going to do a lot of things in this video, so don't go anywhere guys, watch this complete video. Okay, so now let's go to PHP admin, and here we need to create a database. Okay, and then we need to give the name for our database like YII2 CRUD. Okay, and now let's click on create. Okay, now we have created the database, and then let's create a table, posts. Okay, and then we need columns like for one is for ID and the title, description, category. Okay, yeah, that's all 4 fields we want in our table. Okay, so let's click on go. Okay, and then ID, title, description, and then category. Okay, so this category will be of type varchar, description is varchar as well, and then title is varchar. Okay, and then ID will be integer. Okay, so let's 100. Okay, now let's make it as auto incremented and set it as a primary key. Okay, and now let's click on save. Okay, now we have created our table, and now let's insert some records in this table posts. Okay, so click on this insert option, and here I'm having some records already written on my notepad. Okay, so I will go there, and then title, and then copy, then I will paste it here. Okay, and then here category will be CMS, and then I'll copy this, put it here Magento, and this one is e-commerce. Okay, now let's save both these records. Okay, and let's click on browse. Okay, you can see we have 2 records inserted inside our table. Okay, we have manually inserted these records in our table. Okay, so that we can fetch these 2 records and we display those 2 records in our table. Okay, so before writing the code for fetching these records from the database, first we need to configure our database. First we need to connect our database with our Yii application. Okay, so for that we need to go to our editor. Okay, and then we need to, this is our project which we were working from the last 2 videos. Okay, and then here inside config folder you will find a file called as db.php. okay, so here you need to change the database name to the name which you have given to your database. Okay, so I have given a name as YII2CRUD to my database. Okay, so let me show you here. See, YII2CRUD is the name of my database, so the same thing you need to mention here inside this db.php where you see the name as db name. Okay, and username is root, and then password is I haven't set any password to my database, so I'll just leave it as blank. Okay, I'll save it. Okay, I'll close it. Okay, so now I will create a model for this. Okay, so for creating a model, so model is used for interact with our database. Okay, so it will get all the result set, and it will return those results set to the controller, which is in our case site controller. Okay, so our models always present in models we create inside models folder. Okay, so we have to create one model here inside our models folder with the name called as posts. Okay, so let's right click and then click on new file, and then save it as posts. Okay, dot PHP. Okay, so one thing you need to keep in your mind is that we have created a table with a name called as posts. Okay, your posts table is in lowercase, right? Posts. Okay, so you need to create the same, exactly same model with the same name inside your editor. Okay, see, posts, because I'm having a table with a name called as post, that's why I have to create a model file inside the model folder with a name called as posts.php. okay, and then don't forget to make the first letter of your model as capital. Okay, so now let's click models. Okay, and you need to, now we need to go to our site controller. Okay, and we need to come here. Okay, action index. Okay, this is the place. Action index function is the default function that gets loaded. Okay, so whenever we run our application, see, whenever I type the URL as 127.0.0 or .1/yi2 the function automatically, default function that's going to call from site controller.php file is this function. Okay, so we need to call the model inside this function. Okay, so but before that we need to go to PostModel, and then we need to write the code for interacting with our table. Use okay, first namespace app and then models. Okay, and then use DB library. Okay, we need to use DB and then active records class. Okay, so this active records class will help us by providing different functionalities for interacting with our database. Okay, so now let's class posts and then extends active records. Okay, and then we need to create some private variables for title and then description. Okay, and then category. Okay, so these are the same fields which I have created inside my database. See, if you have a look at on our database table, see, these are the fields which I have created in my table. Okay, so the same fields we need to take here as a variables, and then we need to create a function, public function rules. Okay, now we need to set the rules. Okay, return okay, and then create one more array. Okay, and then title and then description, and at the end category, and which is required. Okay, so these rules will be very helpful whenever we tries to submit the form without entering any data inside the form. Okay, the example I have shown you in the very first video of this tutorial series, where I have shown you a demo when I was trying to submit the form without entering the data in any of the form fields. At that time it was returning some mandatory information, like you have to enter title, and then you have to enter a description, and then you have to enter category. Okay, you cannot leave any of the text boxes blank. Okay, so this that functionality will be achieved with these rules. Okay, so now so this much is enough for posts, and then now let's go to our site controller. Okay, and here we need to write the code for getting the records from the database. Okay, okay, so let's write $posts equals to posts, and then find all. Okay, so here what I'm saying is go to posts model or the table with the help, go to post table with the help of this post model. Okay, with the help of this post model, go to post table and then find all the records that are present inside the post table. Okay, so but before that we need to call our model here at the top. Use app and then models and then posts. Okay, so now let's try to see what output we will get. Print r. Okay, and then try to print this output. Okay, so now let's and then use an exit. Okay, now let's refresh our page. Okay, it's saying class DB active records not found. Okay, here active records. Okay, let's go to posts. Okay, it's to record. Okay, not records. Now let's see. Okay, now you can see it's returning us all the records that is present inside our table post. Okay, so now let's just indent it properly. Okay, okay, echo pre-tag, copy. Okay, okay, now you can see since we have two records in our table, that's why it's returning two records. One is WordPress and the second one is Magento. Okay, so these are the two records which we are having in our table. Okay, so now we have successfully able to fetch the records from our table using our model. Okay, so I hope you understood the use of this statement. Okay, this posts is the model. Okay, so which we have created just few minutes back. This is the model which we are referring here. Okay, posts model uses the active record class. Okay, so this active record class helps the users to provide useful functionalities in interacting with the database. Okay, like getting the data, fetching the data, inserting the data into database tables, and then updating and then deleting. Okay, so all this functionality will be achieved by this active record class. Okay, so now we are calling this post model. Okay, post model, and then we are finding all the records. Okay, with the help of this post model we are referring to the post table inside our database. Okay, so once we find the records inside the table, and then we are fetching all the records from the table, and then we are storing those records inside this variable. Okay, and now let's delete this, and now we need to pass this data to our home, so that to our home view, so that we can view all those information here on our home page. So now let's pass it. Okay, so we need to use an array. With the help of array we need to send the data. So posts Okay, so now this post is a variable, and to this variable array variable, and to this array variable we are passing this variable array which holds this variable post, which holds the complete information of all our posts. Okay, and with the help of this post array variable we are displaying all the information in our home page. Okay, so now let's go to our home view or template. Okay, here let's try to print here. Okay, let's try to see whether we are accessing the records here inside our view as well or not. Okay, so PHP print dollar posts. So print. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, now we are successfully getting the records in our view as well. So what we should do is just remove this. Okay, and then we need to come to the body, table body, and then we need to type if condition. We need to use an if condition. We need to count first, count of dollar posts. Okay, so this is the variable which holds the entire information. Okay, so we are checking whether this variable holds any data or not. Okay, what if this variable post doesn't contains any data? Okay, what if our table doesn't contains any information? At that time this variable will have the 0 record. So that's why we are checking here if this variable post will have any data which is greater than 0. Okay, so it will return, it will check for the 0. If it has 0, then it will display no records found, or it will, if this variable has a value of greater than 0, that means 1, then it will return all the data. Okay, so now let's end this. Okay, so let's first if else. Okay, and then end if. Okay, so in end if I will display a tr tag, and then inside tr I will use a td, will display a message as no records found. Okay, no records found. Okay, so if our table doesn't contains any data. Okay, so but right now we will not see this message because our table already contains the data. So now we have set the condition, and now we need to set a for loop for each dollar posts as post. Okay, so we are making a variable. Okay, so this post variable, this is an array variable which contains entire information which is returning from the database. Okay, so we are referring to this array with the help of this post. Okay, so now we need to end this for each as well. And for each. Okay, okay, now okay, here first one is id, so to use PHP echo dollar post of id. Okay, so here, okay, let's close it. Okay, so here as I already said, this post, I'm referring to this post array with the help of this post variable, and this post variable refers to the id field, id information of this particular first record. Okay, okay, now let's copy this and put it here. Okay, and the title, next description, and then at the end category. Okay, save it. Okay, now let's refresh our page. Okay, and for each. Okay, for each. Okay, so here it should be semicolon, not colon. Okay, now let's refresh again. Okay, now you can see we are successfully fetching the data from our table post. Okay, so this is how we can fetch the data records from the table. Okay, so I hope you understood each and every piece of code in this Yii framework. Okay, so here so let's start from our site controller. Okay, so let's first start from our post model. Okay, so I have created a post.php model to interact with our database. Okay, so here I have used an active record. This active record, okay, so you don't have to write this statement for fetching the records from the database. Okay, so you just have to you just need only this much of information. Okay, so let's okay, so this active records class helps the users to perform some basic database operations. Okay, and with the help of this post, we are in post.php model, we are interacting with the table post which is present inside our database, this one. Okay, so here we are and the next inside our controller, since this is an action index is the default function which gets automatically executed when we run our application. So here I'm calling the post model. This post model calls to the post table inside the database and find all the records from that table and assign it to this variable, and then we are passing this variable because it contains the entire information present inside the table, and there we are passing that information to our home view, home template, with the help of an array. Okay, so now we have assigned this entire information to this post variable. Okay, so this post variable we have to access inside our home. Here we are checking this post variable contains any data or not. If our table doesn't contain any data, then this post variable will have the value of 0. Okay, now in this case our table contains the data and this post variable contains the data as well, so the value of this post variable should be greater than 0, which is 1. Okay, so now condition gets satisfied and we are iterating to each and every piece of information with the help of this for each loop, and we are displaying the information. Okay, so now as a result of that we are getting the records from the table. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you got some useful information out of this video, and let's click on this login. Okay, so so this is the structure of the URL. Okay, so this one thing I just wanted to tell you. So our project directory should be refer with the project name 127.0.0.1/project name and then web / index.php. Okay, so index.php, this template belongs to index.php, and previously we were on the home.php, and that home.php is the default view, that's why it's not displaying here. Okay, so okay, so now see this index.php is the file name, and then $r equals to site. This site is the controller. Inside the site controller we are having the functionality for displaying this login template. Okay, login template, so this login is the name of this view. Okay, and then we are having some other view which the name called as contact. Okay, and this contact view is also present inside the site controller. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to tell you extra. Okay, so now we have successfully fetched the data from the table and display it on the home page. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you got some useful information out of this video. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, click on like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video where I'll be showing you or discussing with you how to create a post. Okay, so in my last video, in this video I had entered the post manually inside this table, but in my next video I will create a button here to create a post exactly this way. Okay, exactly this way form I will be creating in my next video. So don't go anywhere guys, I will see you guys in my next video, and thanks for watching.